welcome to the Shades of Blue Soccer Show video interviews. I normally host a podcast, or there's several of us do a podcast, and we can't really get together to do that now, so I'm making up by doing these sort of things.
Right.
You just recently signed with, I gotta say, Sporting Kansas City II. I'm still used to saying Quote Park.
Yeah.
How was it to sign with the team, man?
I mean, I signed the contract back in March, so I've been signed for a little while now, and I think, back in March, it felt really nice because I accomplished something that I've been working towards for almost 3 years now, and I think it meant more to me, especially because I love this club, and I think it's even better that I'm with Sporting too because it gives me something to work on and work towards moving up towards the first team. And not only that, but Sporting 2 is a really good team, and they've had really good runs in USL in the past couple of years. And so I'm willing and I'm excited to get working with them to win. And, last season wasn't the best for them, but, this year I'm 100% with them, and I want to win. So.
I was just going to say you're sliding.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
No problem, man. Like I said, it's during a pandemic. We got to make do. Cool. So you signed back in March, and they said it now because they're keeping you secret.
Well, that's what it felt like a little bit, but I think back in March, that was when the virus was really affecting people, and that's when we were all trying to adapt to what was going on. And so as a player, the exciting part about signing is getting announced and having that attention, but I completely understood the situation and, what was going on and why they couldn't announce it. And because also the club was dealing with financial stuff, just sorting everything out. So once this storm has passed, everything would look good. So, and I know I wasn't the priority, and I was fine with that just for right now,
Well, you seem like you have like a good head on your shoulders there. I mean, you're not like, oh, it's all about me at this point. So.
No, I mean, one of the club mottos is team first. And so, I don't want to make it all about me, and I want to do what's best for the team. So, I mean, in this situation, if it was, helping the club right now and making sure that the team would be good for after when we got back, then that was fine with me. And, so, but, I patience, paid off. And just a couple of days ago or yesterday, they announced it. So that was a good feeling. So, yeah.
That's good. All right. So you grew up in Rochester, Michigan, kind of north of Detroit, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, it's about 30 minutes away from Detroit.
So how did you end up coming to Sporting Kansas City, the academy?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I played for a team in Michigan called Vardar. Yeah. And playing for them, I only played for 1 year, and that was my first year in academy. And I think throughout the year, I kept getting better for especially that team. And my dad, he works in the soccer industry, and so he knows people with MLS academies. And so during my Vardar year, I actually went on trial to Portland Timbers, and that it was a good experience. And of course, I thank you for everything they've done for me. But I decided I didn't really want to go there. It wasn't really in my best interest and, the best environment for me. And so later, after the DA season ended, my family and we decided to move, take a chance. And, my dad set up a trial, and we decided to head out to Kansas City. And I actually got hurt after the playoffs, so I couldn't actually trial, but I had recently got selected for the U15 CONCACAF tournament. So, I decided not to go just for the team's best interest. And so then I ended up going to Sporting, and from there I decided to go.
So when you chose Sporting and you ended up moving down here, was it hard for the family to let you go? And because I know you moved in with a host family, and I think you had even like a teammate there with you, didn't you?
Yeah, so the first year I moved here, I was alone with my host family, and yeah, I actually had an interview early this year, and I think I said, like, family is family, but I wanted to follow my dream or something. But, like, yes, of course, it was really hard for me to move away from my family, especially at a young age. And I don't, at the time, I don't really think I knew what I was walking into. Like, at the time, I didn't really accept that I would really never be going back home to live there. So, so I moved away, and yeah, it was hard at first. And, times got by. My family came and visited me like any other family would do. And that was nice. And my host family's great. They made it a lot easier. They're really welcoming and caring. So that, of course, made it easier for a 15-year-old kid. And, yeah, I mean, over the past 3 years, I think I've learned a lot from them too. Just not even, obviously not about soccer, but I think just a lot about, living on your own, living away from your family, just the fundamentals of, like, when you get to live on your own. And then a year and a half after I was living there, my teammate, his name's Edward Mendy, he moved to play for the academy. And I think ever since, him and I have been, really good buddies, and we do a lot together. So, and of course, it's nice having a teammate there, especially because, you get back from your long days of training, you talk about it. We went to the same school, so we're doing homework together. And, a lot of the stuff we just did as, partners. So it was nice. Definitely.
I mean, it's got to be a adventure for the people that are hosting kids like you too. I know you're not a kid anymore, but
yeah, I mean, they've definitely seen me grow from when I came in to now. Yeah, it's nice.
I know you're a midfielder, and I have to give you a compliment. One of the games that you started, I showed up a little bit late to the game, and because I was looking at the tweet when I was at a stoplight and saw he was starting, and showed up. I got out there, and I totally forgot you were there. So to me, that was a compliment that you were an academy kid that I didn't even notice was playing at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a compliment to me too. Thank you. Yeah.
Because it was like halfway through the first half, and I went, "Oh yeah, Davis is out there."
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I like I said, I thought that was a compliment that you played really maturely and really, the level you were right with the level of USL guys who were, 2 to 12 years older than you out there.
Yeah, I mean, after I think my first game against Bethlehem Steel went well. And I think last year we had a good, we didn't have the best season, but we had a good team, and a lot of those guys really helped me get into the game. And, that's, it's important in the beginning of the game just to complete the little things and not try to do, miraculous passes or trying to dribble, do the little things to get into the rhythm of the game. And I think a lot of those guys helped, and especially Paulo Nagamura, who's the head coach of the team. He helped me a lot, not just, during the game, but, during training sessions and, off the field stuff about how to carry myself and the important things I should be doing, and even down to the little things of tracking or being in different spots. He's really helped me over the past 2 years just become a different type of player and, to, like what you said, to the USL level and even higher. So, I'm really grateful for what Paulo's done for me and a lot of my teammates in the past have. So, yeah.
Have you been able to watch some of the games that he played in?
Yes, he was good back then, and he's still good now. Like, I'm being serious. If he jumped in training with us, he might be the best player still.
Yeah. I could see him. I would take him in a one-game playoff at any level, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So, as a midfielder, what is your best spot? I mean, an 8, a 10, a 6?
I think for me, over the past couple of years, and especially now, I think my best position is 8, just because I think, I'm a bit of a different type of player. I'm not going to be the guy who, does the most beautiful thing in the game. I'm not the guy who's going to make the fastest run or do the most spectacular, action. I'm more of like a guy who does the dirty work. And I don't know, I like doing the simple things, and I like, I think I'm more of a defensive guy, but I also get on the attack. So I think as an 8, that's kind of what the fundamentals are: box to box, breaking up plays, pressing, winning the ball back to the team, getting up the field, getting in little pockets to connect the play. I think that's what I do best. And like what I said is, I'm not going to be the best guy, and I'm not going to be the most flashy guy. I do a lot of dirty work, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes for my team to win. So
a little bit like Naga.
yes, yeah.
But don't sell yourself short, man. I saw you slide some passes through, breaking 2 lines up to, I think Wilson Harris was, at least one of those that was breaking in on goal.
Yeah.
You got the pass in there, man.
Thank you. Yeah. But I mean, that's what comes with the role. I mean, I know what I just said, but, as an 8, you get into those, spots sometimes, and, that's what else. It's almost like a bonus when you do that type of stuff, because when you fall into those moments, you got to complete the pass and you got to make something happen. So, you always got to be ready for that.
Now, okay, a lot of people think I'm crazy when I say this, but I always feel like the way Sporting plays, there's not a true 8 and a 10 always, The 8s come forward, the 10s come back, the 6s are breaking lines with passes and making runs. It's like the 3 are more interchangeable. I always say it's the 8/10. One might be a little more advanced or a little more attacking than the other, but am I right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, I see it in training and I see it in games. Even through the academy. So as an 8 and a 10, there's just a lot of rotation depending on the press, and just like when we're defending, how we press, it just depends on where the ball is, how the movement of the other team is, and that's when there's got to be communication to the middle, because it's important that the midfield is really compact, because if someone gets caught out, then it exposes us as a team. And talking about, is there a true 8 or 10? I think that's also, there has to be balance. So, say if I'm in the midfield with Christian Duke, him and I are very similar players too. And so, if he's lower and coming deeper to get the ball, then I should be higher. But it's the same thing. If I come deeper, then he should be higher. So to answer your question, there may not be a true 8 or 10, but it also depends on just what the game needs, movement of the players and stuff like that. So,
if for Sporting fans that may not have seen you play yet, because we know there was overwhelming crowds at Swope Park games last year. I know I'm being a little bit of a jerk here, but who would you describe, like some player that we might all know that you play like? You can't use Nagas, we've already used that one.
From the first team, I'd say maybe Roger. I think him and I we do similar things. He works hard, he presses well, he completes passes, and he makes stuff happen too while doing all that. And so I think what makes us most similar is that we work hard for our teammates. So
cool.
And we do the best for the team.
When you were at the academy, was your first opportunity to train with Swope, or was it with the first team? Because I mean, I know sometimes academy guys go up and train with their first team, and sometimes they go to train with USL team.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm positive it was probably with the USL team, and it may have been with the first team, but I'm sure that back then what I needed was just with the USL team. And when those first couple opportunities, you're not actually doing a lot. You're just kind of there as an extra. And even though that's what it might be, it's still a great opportunity, because your mentality as an academy player has to be, okay, I'm going to do everything I can to get better with what opportunity I'm given during training today. So, I'm pretty positive it was with the USL team. So, yeah.
Who was there anybody like, that said, hey, come, besides a coach, was there any players that said, hey, come here, do this with me, or, took you under the wing at all, or?
My first USL session, I think maybe some of the older guys were a bit more distant, just because I was a new academy kid. It was my first time training. But I think if we're talking about, helping me out, taking me under my wing, I think it was probably more of the experienced academy kids who have been training with them, and stuff. Some of my buddies now. So yeah, and they've helped me a lot.
That's speaking of that. I mean, there's quite a few academy guys on the USL team now, and because what Kave signed earlier this year, you signed, guys from previous years,
Yeah.
and guys with the first team that will probably be playing with them quite a bit too. So, I mean, does it feel good to like come through that academy to, know that these are the guys you've been playing with and, working to get to that first team?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially when I first moved here, these guys aren't just my teammates. These guys have been my buddies off the field too for a while. We all live by each other. We hang out and stuff. So I think it's nice to also, play on the field with them at a professional level, especially when we can, have fun off the field, but then also be serious on the field. I think that's what makes it special the most, having that, like, mentality of it's a job. We're here to win, and we're not messing around now. And, aside from all that, they've taught me a lot just about soccer and, about life. So, yeah.
Who's been the toughest for you to play against in practice?
Out of the whole team or out of the younger guys?
Oh, out of the whole team, first team, second team.
I mean, currently, I think I would say either Johnny Russell or Eric Hurtado. Eric, because he's his strength, he's humongous. And I think Johnny, because he's so shifty and he can always, make you move the way he wants you to. And then I think another would be Gotti Kinda. He's a new player. He's very talented. So it's hard to play against him. So.
Yeah, I haven't got to see him enough yet. So.
I know he's had those guys have, even though there's only been 2 MLS games, they've done a lot still, and they've shown stuff. So yeah.
I always felt like Johnny was actually better when he was going against 2 defenders than against 1, because he could set him up to like split him somehow. He was like really adept at that.
Honestly, it might be like that for him. Like, seriously. So.
Figure out how he does that, man, so you can be doing it.
I know. I'm trying. I might train with the first team. I try to take little notes, try to focus on the little things these guys do. So.
Well, anyway, man, I appreciate the time, and I don't want to keep you holding your phone for the.
Yeah, sorry. Listen, I'm trying to look around and see if I can set anything up here. I don't have the best setup right here, so my apologies for that.
Don't worry, man. Again, I'm happy I got a chance to talk to you. This is, maybe after we get a few games in, we can do another one. Because I don't know if they'll let us talk. I don't know if they'll let us talk to players for the rest of this year. So who knows?
Yeah.
I just saw the schedule too. There's not a whole lot of home games.
No, there's not. Yeah, we just found out about that too. It stinks, but we have to make do, and we'll figure out a way. We're a good team this year, so we'll find a way to win. So.
I definitely think you guys will do better than you did last year. And again, a lot of last year was just failing to complete out games, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's good that we have last year to look at, because it's almost like, okay, we're not going to be like that. It's like adversity to kind of overcome. Like, okay, that's not acceptable. We're going to be better this year. So,
from the overall club perspective, in the long run, if SKC II doesn't win a lot of games but produces players that go to the first team, it's a win.
It's a win for overall. But I think also winning with the USL team creates good habits for players too. That mentality, so when they go up to the first team, they're not, you don't want to, when you move up to the first team, you don't want to look at these guys as like, oh my gosh, Gotti Kinda, oh my gosh, Alan Polito. You want to be like, okay, these guys are my teammates. These are the guys I'm going to win with now. So.
Yep. Quite honestly, you sound like you're one of the coaches already with how you say that.
I love this club, and I want to do anything I can to win, because I know this club deserves to win. So, yeah, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna just kind of wrap it up and say, thanks for joining me, and I really appreciate it. Any last words?
No, I think I'm good.